Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Last Son, and this is Journey Through the Cornellverse. And today, we're going to take a look at Revolution Australian Wrestling, the exclusive property of the Australian Sports Network. Revolution Australian Wrestling were the world's first wrestling league to be created entirely for TV. Raw came about after one of the network's executive producers, a hotshot idea guru called Tristram Day, realized that wrestling shows tended to test extremely well in the key demographics that the network was after. Unwilling to spend big bucks to import shows from America, he realized that if the network created its own company and treated it like a TV show, then they would be able to market and profit from their own exclusive stars. Raw has now gone on to become a hugely popular, despite real wrestling fans looking down on it because of its lack of actual in-ring action. You're a medium-sized company, $3.5 million in the bank, and you're based out of Western Australia. So taking a look at your size here in Oceania, you're 71s across the board except for New Zealand, which you're a 67. US, you have no presence. Same thing in Canada, Mexico, British Isles, Japan, Europe, and India. So the only place you have a presence is in Oceania. To get that next step into big, you have to achieve 77 in all 5 mainland Australian regions, which I'm going to assume starts here at New South, goes into Queensland, South Australia, Victoria, Western Australia. Probably leaves out Tasmania and New Zealand. So you get 77 here in these ones and you'll get to big. And you're at 71 right now, so gaining 6 points in popularity is not a huge mountain to climb. Really do that in the first year, I would hope. Take a look here, coverage. You have big coverage in most of Oceania except for medium in New Zealand. And for your TV shows, you just are on the ASN, basically one of the big guns in Australia broadcasting, has big viewing figures throughout the country and also even into New Zealand. If we take a look at your events, the only event you have is a TV show every Friday called Raw Attitude. You have a dormant monthly event called the Stars of Raw. Taking a look at your booking team, looks like you have a couple people here. You have Jacob Jameson and Quizzical Mark Question. So you have a couple other spots though that you can potentially call up any of these people into the booking team. Try to give you a little bit more booking skill to get some more CE for those events. Your inner circle, you have quite a few filled in here, especially on your locker room leaders. You have Crafton Wrestling Second, Kerry Wayne, Blake Belushi. Your senior road agent is Quizzical Mark Question. Your senior referee is Will Tuddenham. So you can put 2 people in as a locker room leader. You can fill out your chief enforcers in the rest of these spots with anybody that you would like to potentially gain some loyalty over time, hopefully, if everything goes well. Take a look at your product, the wrestling soap opera. It's effectively using wrestling merely as a backdrop for soap opera style feuds. This product is all about the dramatic rivalries and OTT angles. A lot of the drama plays out in the ring too, although match quality is not a priority. It is a men's only company. The face and heel divide is strictly enforced. There's no men's weight split. Stables are available, managers are available. Spinal impact moves are not allowed. At events, fans will expect matches to be 70% of matches, 30% angles. On TV shows, they expect 50-50 between matches and angles. The matches, though, are rated on a match quality versus popularity ratio of 30-70. So population is kind of king. This is the most bent towards popularity we've seen so far. We've seen some close, but 70 for popularity, 30% for match quality is going towards that other side of the coin. When you looked at, for example, Pride, Glory, Honor Wrestling, that was an 80-20 in front of match quality. This is going the other direction. But this style is very easy on the workers and produces far less wear and tear on their bodies over time. Fans are going to be upset by dangerous, controversial, or bloody match types. Matches less than 5 minutes will not be able to achieve a world-class score. Fans are expecting these matches to be short, and they will get bored if they go long. Only basic match setups like a cage or a pole are acceptable. Angles based on sex appeal will have their overall rating mildly limited. All workers are expected to use a gimmick, or there'll be a small penalty. Fans expect there to be lots of ongoing storylines. Major matches will be penalized if they don't have a storyline associated with it. Each show will need at least one match aimed as storytelling. So all in all, it's not a huge, horrible product. It's a fairly easy product. You just got to make sure that the guys that you have and the guys that you sign are popular, type guys. You take a look at your titles. You have 3. You have the Raw Quest, the 53 current prestige. Current champion is Damien Dastardly. The Raw Quest belt was introduced to give the company's mid-card something to fight over. Nobody is sure what the quest refers to. It's just something that likely sounded good to the marketing department at that time. This reign has been going on for 106 days, and there's been 2 successful title defenses. You have the Raw Tag Team, the 52 Prestige. Current 2-time champions Brody Loughlin and Matty Wills. Raw has always had a strong tag team division, as the matches are well suited for television. As a result, tag team titles have been treated really well. They're a floating level championship for male tag teams. This reign has been going on for 197 days, 7 successful title defenses during that time. Then you have the Raw Television, 72 current prestige, current 5-time champion of Swoop McCarthy. This is the focal point of much of the company's televised output. The wrestler has to be pretty over to get anywhere near a title shot. This is a reign that's been going on for 50 days, and you've had 1 successful title defense so far. So if you filter your roster down to look at star quality of 70 or above, you do have a pretty decent sized list of stars, people who are going to have that star power. People like Blake Belushi, you can see here, has some really good skills, fundamentally and primary and mental. You have Brody Loughlin, again, a very good skilled worker. Captain Wrestling II, pretty good as well. This so far has seen a lot of good wrestling skill here. Damien Dastardly, Rogue Element, Gladiator, Keith Murdoch, Jesse Tasman, JT Ace, Cal Wayne, Harry Wayne, Kyan Wayne, Loxley Robbins, Lynx, Maurice Jackson, Montgomery Croft, Nathan McKenzie, Mickey Gilbert, Rahamel Good, Richie Fox, Skyscraper, Spiffy Standish, Swoop McCarthy, Tombstone, and Will Beaumont. So pretty good, skill wise, pretty good star quality on a lot of these guys, like Will Beaumont, who has a 94 star quality. Pretty good performance skills. Take a look popularity wise, very popular here. Take a look here. Let's take a look at the top of the card here. Your main eventers, your upper mid carders. You got Blake Belushi, Captain Wrestling II, Harry Wayne, Loxley Robbins, Reese Jackson, Nathan McKenzie, Rahmel Good, Spiffy Standish, Swoop McCarthy, and Will Beaumont. Again, pretty good top of your card. Most of those guys, I think all of them are on your list of high star powered individuals. These guys are going to be the vast majority of your upper card, your major storylines, people you're going to want to push to get the best out of those skills that they have. Remember that wrestling is not key here. It's more angles and popularity. 5 minutes is all it needs is to get a world-class score, and anything like long is going to get a penalty of some sort. You do seem to have a pretty decent sized mid-card. It's filled with people like Alexander Banks, Brody Loughlin, CJ Libertine, Damian Dastardly, Franklin Zane, Rogue Element, George Libertine, Gladiator, Keith Murdoch, Horton Ravenwood, Jesse Tasman, Yozuko, JT Ace, Cal Wayne, Ian Wayne, Louis Lewis, Lynx, Marcus Kerr, Matt Stoppard, Matty Wills, Montgomery Croft, Mickey Gilbert, Richie Fox, Rick Stantz, Skyscraper, Tombstone, and Ty Libertine. A lot of good looking skill wise workers here in the mid card. Some of these guys, looks like the Libertines, are potentially younger wrestlers, younger guys, but most of them here looked like they had some decent skills, pretty decent on the mic. So guys you could potentially push into that major star level. Let's take a look at your lower mid cards and even enhancement talent type guys. You got Brogan Burton and Robbie Libertine. So a good couple good young workers here who have pretty good skills here, little lacking below that 70 mark on star quality, but really good skills. For your stables, you have Libertine that has CG Libertine, George Libertine, Robbie Libertine, Ty Libertine, and then Raymond Royce. This is basically Raw's resident boy band. They've had a huge success story for the company, generating reliable heel heat whenever they show up. The lineup has shifted many times, which has become part of the joke, although Raymond Royce has always been there as their manager. You have the Three Amigos, a popular babyface trio. They formed as a loose alliance against Libertine. The original lineup was Cole Taylor and Heath and Horton. Taylor left the company. Will Beaumont was slotted in as his replacement. So you have Will Beaumont, Keith Murdoch, Horton Ravenwood. Then you have the Wayne family. The feud between the Waynes have gone on for many years and been a central point of Raw booking. So it was a huge shock when Kerry Wayne turned heel in order to unite the family. They instantly have become one of the biggest heel factions in Raw history. So you have Kerry Wayne as the leader, Cal Wayne and Kean Wayne as the two members. So you have a couple of good heel stables. Then you also have your babyface stable to take those fight to those two heel stables. That's pretty interesting dynamic. Storylines, you have to have 3 storylines. They currently are achieving this at the beginning of the game. You only have 3 storylines. You have to advance at least 1 per show. You have New Generation versus God's Gift. No sooner than New Generation turned back the challenge of the 3 a.m. boys than another pair of challengers emerged. God's Gift want their titles back. And it involves Alexander Banks, Brody Loughlin, Maddie Wills, Rose Wills, and Spiffy Stan Standish. You have Swoop versus Jackson. Swoop McCarthy regained the Raw television title in November and immediately found himself with a long line of hungry challenge. First among them is the #1 contender, his old nemesis, Maurice Jackson. You have the Wayne family saga. Kerry Wayne's heel turn was the biggest shock of 2021 for Raw, especially for Captain Wrestling II, given he was the one on the receiving end of a surprise chair shot. Now he wants revenge against the whole Wayne family. This would just basically be Captain Wrestling II taking on each member of the Wayne family in some sort. Some pretty decent storylines. A lot of potential for telling stories with these. But with this roster, I think there's a opportunity to add 2 to 3 more storylines that you can potentially get to hot, so you can make sure that you have enough storylines to meet the demands of the fans. Take a look at the teams that you have. You have God's Gift, Ethan Horton, New Generation, the 3 a.m. boys, the Libertine boys, Titans, and the Wayne brothers. So pretty good mix of very experienced teams just starting out. But all in all, pretty good mix there for that tag team title. If we take a look at your creative franchise players, are guys like Swoop McCarthy, Loxley Robbins, Reese Jackson, Blake Belushi, Kerry Wayne. Next big things that these are guys that could be not only a star but carry the company. Guys like Will Beaumont, Kean Wayne, Brody Loughlin, Brogan Burton. Valuable members that could potentially be stars but may not be able to carry the company, but could be very valuable members of the roster are guys like Damian Dastardly, Kean Wayne, JT Ace, Brody Loughlin, Marcus Kerr. These are the guys that you wanted to have doing a lot of your promo work. Swoop McCarthy, Captain Wrestling II, Will Beaumont, Maurice Jackson, Ramel Good. These are the guys that can take their performance to a new level and steal the show. Guys like Swoop McCarthy, Nikki Gilbert, Rogue Element, Blake Belushi, Heath Murdoch. Guys that you can count on to carry the deadest of dead weight are Blake Belushi, Swoop McCarthy, Kerry Wayne, Nikki Gilbert, Captain Wrestling II. You do have quite a bit of people here who have some pretty hot momentum. You also have almost just as many guys who have no momentum or lack of momentum. You're not going to have a child company. You're not going to have developmental. You're not going to have a training facility. With the way this federation is set up, where you have that weekly TV show and that's it right now. Don't know if investing in any of these things like a training facility or developmental would be the way I would go. If I potentially bring back that monthly event or create new events, I could potentially see that. But you could probably find quite a few workers out and about, has really good popularity, really good skills on the mic that you can bring in, and also add some depth to that mid card and potentially find some guys that could move into the stars and major star level of your roster. far as alliances, you don't meet the alliance requirements for the COT. You are in a battle, but as you can see, it's not really much of a battle. You're 60 points ahead of APW. And APW, you kind of have a negative opinion. They've declared war on Raw, and you have a very hostile attitude towards APW. Deep Impact, you don't have really any kind of opinion of them, but they've declared war on Raw. Well, guys, this is another look at Revolution Australian Wrestling as we make our way through the journey of the Cornellverse. I'm Last Son. Leave in the comments section any kind of tips you have for Raw. What do you like about it? Who would you look at to potentially bring in the company? What are some guys that maybe have a really good story that I'm just not familiar with, or that in your save you've created that worked out really well for you? And while you're there, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Again, I'm Last Son. Keep playing, guys. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in our next video.